We've come right to the end of this interview, but there's one last question I have to put to you. Right at the end of your book, you quote from William Shirer's famous book, The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. I'm going to read that quotation out, and then I want to ask you whether there's really a hidden meaning in that quotation that applies to us in India as well. This is the quotation. The cardinal error of the Germans who opposed Nazism was their failure to unite against it. At the crest of their popular strength in July 1932, the National Socialists had attained but 37% of the vote. 63% of the German people who expressed their opposition were much too divided and short-sighted to combine against a common danger, which they must have known would overwhelm them unless they united. And yet they failed to unite. Now, those percentages are uncannily similar to the percentages that brought Mr. Modi to power in 2014. Hence my question, is there a lesson here for the Indian people?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The similarities between the two, the Third Reich and this period of India is unhappily passing through. The similarities are only growing. And these may be coincidences, but they also, I mean, the voting percentages, etc. These may be coincidences, but they also indicate that other countries have gone on this path with disastrous results. And therefore, it is time for our disunited, cantankerous opposition parties, etc., to read the writing on the wall. To read the writing on the wall, because that wall is not going to be standing there for much longer if this goes on. So this is the time to read the writing on the wall.
Can I put this to you? I'm going to quote how you began that answer. The similarities between the Third Reich and the India of today are only growing. It's not just, I take it in terms of the statistics that brought Mr. Modi to power and those that brought Hitler to power in 1932, that there's a similarity. That similarity stretches into many other areas, doesn't it? Treatment of minorities, treatment of dissent, treatment of the opposition, the attitude to running the country, the cult of personality around the leader, the Führer, or Pradhan Sevak, as he likes to call himself. That similarity stretches across many horizons, doesn't it?
It does, including also what you didn't mention, control of the media, the manufacturing of fake news on a colossal scale, the rewriting of history. These are a tremendous similarity. And also another very important similarity is that the overwhelming support of the people, of the citizens of the country for this kind of a ruler. That is a frightening similarity.
That is a frightening similarity. Is a similarity that should worry you particularly. Hitler had the support of the German people in 1932 when he came to power, and let's be honest, he retained it right up to the last year or so when he had to commit suicide. Mr. Modi...
And even today, if you look at the neo-Nazis.
Absolutely, but similarly, Mr. Modi today has the enormous support of the Indian people, despite demonetization, despite COVID-19, despite 2019, he still has that support. For many, he is beloved, just as Hitler was beloved in the 30s. That's the problem for you, isn't it?
It should be a problem for all of us, Karan.
Okay.
It should be a problem for all of us.
That is very pithily put. I thank you, Avay Shukla, for joining me, for making time for this interview, and for expanding on your thoughts. Take care.
Thank you, Karan. It was a pleasure to have been here with you. Thank you very much.
Take care. Stay safe.